Psalm 127, a Song of Solomon. Psalm of Solomon. Um, just going to focus on the first two verses. There are five of them, but I'm just going to focus on the first two. So that's, except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh, but in vain. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he giveth his beloved sleep. So just focusing on those two verses there. So I guess right off the bat, you can kind of get ecclesiastical vibes from how Solomon is speaking here. The vanity is vanity, all is vanity. What is life under the sun? Kind of those vibes when you hear, except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Like, I mean, ultimately, whatever we do down here, whatever our work that we do, I mean, it's eventually going to pass away, and we're not going to be able to enjoy the spoils or the good of our work forever. Eventually, somebody else is probably going to come along and take advantage of it after we're gone. So it says, except the Lord build the house, if the Lord doesn't establish it, it's not going to last. Whatever the Lord establishes is what's going to last. They labor in vain which build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. So just kind of honing in on that idea that though, I mean, we're put here to work. Work is good. God wants us to work, but we shouldn't think that we're just here to work, and to just work in vain. If we work, we need to work for the glory of God, because that's what lasts. Because ultimately, like he says, except the Lord build the house, except the Lord establishing something, it's not even going to last. Like what the Lord establishes is going to be forever. So it says, verse 2, it is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he giveth his beloved sleep. So it says it's vain for you to rise up so early and to go to bed so late, spending all that time just working and toiling. I think that's what like if you read Ecclesiastes, he might use that term, toiling, working tirelessly. And then so much so that when you eat, it says to eat the bread of sorrows. So whatever you do, sit down to eat, it's like you're eating sorrow, because you're working so hard, and your work it seems fruitless. It's day in and day out, just hard work. For what reason? Well, like you said, all is vanity ultimately, but you should use your work not to only satisfy yourself, or not to just to work aimlessly. You use your work to glorify the Lord, because like I said, like he says, except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. So seek to use your work, seek to dedicate your work to God, which establishes things that last forever. Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, all these things will be added unto you. So don't put all your stock and all your work here. Though your work here is good, and the Lord wants us to do good work here in order to glorify him, seek to use your work and put eggs in your heavenly basket, in a sense, to the things that last. This last little part of verse 2, for so he giveth his beloved sleep. So it's like you don't have to work yourself to death. He says, for God gives his beloved, those he loves, sleep. He gives those he loves rest and peace and sleep. You don't have to work tirelessly. You don't have to toil. Work hard. Don't be a sloth. But don't make work an idol, and don't make work a chore. Ultimately, yeah, like I said, do work that glorifies God.